to have our independence. But I also think Cillian Murphy,
Obviously.
he's incredible. He's my favourite Irish export. He is just incredible.
You should see his latest movie, Small Things Like These.
Oh
Latest
yeah,
book,
I haven't
really
watched
good.
it, but everybody said it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But
Now,
they just started filming the new Peaky Blinders movie like last week. So I'm looking forward to that.
he's an amazing actor, absolutely. Now, talking about actors, you're an actor. What would be one perk of being an actor people can't think of?
Free stuff.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. I've got so much chocolate today already. It's amazing. That's my Christmas presents sorted. But no, like for me, it's the travel. I get to travel around the world, not have to put my hand in my pocket for flights or hotels, and it's just an amazing perk to have it.
I can imagine. If you wouldn't have been an actor, what would you have liked to become?
So I always thought I wanted to be a milkman.
A milkman.
A milkman. It's grand. My dad was a milkman. His dad was a milkman. I used to love going out with my dad and like delivering milk to people's houses, and I just thought it was so much fun. So yeah, either that or an international show jumper.
Got you. Milkman, so Benny Hill's song must ring a bell?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Milkman.
It took me a minute.
Yes. Now you've been an actor for how many years approximately?
I started acting when I was 5, and I worked. I never really had a break from 5 until 22. I was
Okay.
always working. So when before Harry Potter finished, I knew that once it finished, I was going to kind of stop. Just because I kind of started acting so I could afford to buy horses. Because of Harry Potter, I was in a position that I could afford to buy a lot of horses, but I couldn't ride anymore. So I always remember, after the first movie, myself, my mum, and our lawyer, we found a loophole in the contract that allowed me to actually horse ride. So I bought this really, really fantastic horse off one of the Irish Olympic riders. And I jumped, the very first class was like a 120 class. And then later on that evening, I jumped the Grand Prix qualifier, and I won that. And then on the Sunday, I jumped the Grand Prix, and I won that too.
Wow.
So at about 5 o'clock Monday morning, we had lots of phone calls from Warner Brothers going, "Oh my God, Devon's horse riding, Devon's horse riding." And Mum's like, "Yeah?" Like, he's not supposed to. So they flew me over to London the following day, and we had to redo like all the contracts. So because of me, nobody was allowed to play golf. Nobody was allowed to do anything. Even like physical education in school, we weren't allowed to do anymore.
Wow.
So I kind of messed it up for everybody.
How much slack did the other actors give you for that?
Not a lot, because we still did it just without Warner Brothers knowing.
Okay.
We're kids.
But did you just say you stopped acting? You don't want to be an actor anymore, or did I misinterpret?
No, so I did. I completely stopped acting after Harry Potter. I'd spent so long filming and traveling all the time. Like, Harry Potter started when I was 11 years old, and I finished when I was 22. So half of my life was on the Harry Potter sets. I'd gone through puberty, I'd gone through my good years, my bad years, and I always remember it was my 16th birthday. Warner Brothers put me up in this fantastic suite in the Dorchester Hotel in London. Beautiful hotel. But my friends back in Ireland were calling me, and they were saying, "Oh, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight for your birthday?" And I'm sat in this huge suite with lots of rooms full of like presents and cards and everything. And I'm like, nothing. I'm just sat here, I've got work in the morning. And I never felt as like alone and sad in my life. So I was kind of there and then that I realized when Potter was finished, I was going to take a step back. I didn't think I was going to take a step back for as long as I have done. But then I had a son nearly 4 years ago. So because I have a son, there's not a chance am I going away and working in a different country for like 6-8 months of the year just because I missed out so much on him. It was like Warner Brothers asked me to do the 20-year anniversary a few years ago. and I'd already made plans with my son. So myself and his mummy had decided we were going to do this, that, and the other on these certain days. Because I'm a big planner. I love to have everything all organised. So we had it organised. Warner Brothers asked me if I'd do it, and I said, no, I can't. So then they came back again and asked me again. I was like, no, I still can't do it. And I was telling them I've already made plans. So then they come along and they offer a lot of money. Really, I should have done it when I think back. No, I shouldn't. And I said, look, I can't. And you know what? The day we were supposed to be filming, my son took his very first steps.
Wow.
So I was speaking to Robbie Coltrane, who plays Hagrid, like maybe 3 or 4 days later, because he called me. He was like, why weren't you there? Why weren't you there? So I told him, and he's like, do you know what? That's the best thing ever. Then we started talking about his son and things like that. And he was saying that there was one thing, if he could go back and do it again, was to spend more time with his kids. So I'm like, you know what? So I was so happy that I didn't do it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like the first one who made that choice, because most people, they'll say, yeah, I'll take them along on the set, or I'll take them along to conventions and stuff like that. So, but might this mean that once your son is like 18 and a proper role is offered to you, you might pick up on it again?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I'm an only child, and I always wanted everybody's attention. How I got into acting was, my parents went to this like bar, hotel type thing, and there they had like children's entertainment. So there was singing and dancing. You could put your name up. So I put my name up for singing. So I was like 4 years of age. I went up and I sung, and I won. I won the talent competition. So then we'd go back there like week after week, and I would always win. So I asked my mum and dad if they would send me off for like singing and dancing classes. So they were like, sure. So they brought me like 2 hours drive every Saturday to go off and like sing and dance. But the day I went to the dancing and acting classes, they asked me if I wanted to join the acting agency. So my parents said no, and I said yes. So I won. And yeah, just kind of the ball started rolling from there. I was only there a week, and I got my very first audition, and I got that. And every time I went for an audition, I used to always get it. I had an almost 100% success rate.
Wow.
In getting my roles.
So when you see your parents now, you go like, my I told you so gland is working overtime?
Exactly.
But they must be proud of you now as well.
Oh, totally, yeah. Like, my parents enjoyed it too. My dad became my driver in Ireland because he was already a driver, and they would always send like this stretch limousine to come pick me up. But where I used to live, you could not turn a stretch car at all, and also you couldn't reverse back either, and that's if they turned up. They never turned up on time, so I missed so many flights, or else my dad would have to drop me and my mum to the airport. So then he became my driver, and my mum was my personal assistant. Or no, she was my chaperone until I was 16. And then once I turned 16, she was my PA. So I kind of kept it in the family.
Brilliant. And your son is now 4, right?
Yeah, so he turns 4 in January.
Does he realize, has he already seen anything from Harry Potter? Like, this is my dad, or when are you going to show him?
So unfortunately for me, I was hoping I'd get away with this for a lot of years, that he wouldn't want to watch Harry Potter. But last week, he decided that he wanted to watch Harry Potter. Because somebody, I don't know who, told him that Daddy was in Harry Potter. And he understands that, like, when I go out, people want to take photographs and things, and he doesn't like that. Like, no, he's my daddy, he's my daddy, he's my daddy.
Wow.
So last week, he decided, we were on like Netflix, and he saw like a Harry Potter movie. So he was like, Harry, Daddy? And I was like, yeah. He was like, can I watch it? And I wanted to say no, but I didn't. It's the first movie, so I watch the first movie every Christmas with my family. So I said, yeah, look, let's watch that. So then on Halloween, we went out trick-or-treating. So we went around to all the houses getting our sweets, and he saw lots of other boys dressed up as Harry Potter. So he was fascinated. He was like, it's like you, Daddy. It's like you, Daddy. He's like you, Daddy. So yesterday morning, we woke up at like 6:30, 7 a.m. And the first thing he wanted to do was watch Harry Potter. So we watched the first movie, and I thought, okay, that's it. We're fine. We watched the first movie. He doesn't want to watch any more. And he was like, the next one. And I was like, really? He's like, watch it, Daddy. And I was like, no. So I've never watched any of the Harry Potter movies more than once, except the first movie.
Okay.
I watched them all at the world premieres, and never again.
Why not?
Not because they're bad movies, but because I hate watching myself.
Got you.
The first movie I can somewhat tolerate, because like, I'm a child, I've got like a squeaky voice, and it's okay. But the rest of the movies, no. I was getting older and I was like, I'm my own worst enemy. I'm the biggest judge of myself, and yeah, it's just not nice.
So how many has he seen now? Just one?
Oh, he's watched the first two.
Okay. And did you recognize you because you were?
Oh yeah, he knew exactly who I was.
Ah, amazing.
Yeah, he's like, Daddy, why are you saying that? And he loves that fact that I keep on blowing up. He's like, haha, Daddy, blow up. Look at your face. Look at your face. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? You're very silly, Daddy. But it's so funny, when we're going out like to the toy shops, he'll walk down like all the Lego, and he always looks at the Harry Potter stuff. And he goes, Daddy has a dirty face, Daddy has a dirty face.
That's a unique experience you get to share with your
exactly.
kid. And so imagine in 1 year time, when he's 5, he says, Daddy, I want to be an actor. What are you going to do?
Absolutely not.
Seriously? Would you prevent that?
Yeah.
You would?
I would completely try and but like suggest that he goes down like a different path. Especially being a child actor, people think it's all fantastic, it's amazing. It's not, it's terrible to a degree. I was away from my family for 11 years. I was away from my friends, the rest of my family for 11 years too. I didn't go to normal school. I didn't have the same education that everybody else has. So I missed out on an awful lot. And that messes with your mind. It really, really does. You're almost made to feel like you're the best person in the world. And so I can understand why you see so many young actors kind of go absolutely crazy when they're finished filming, because they think they are untouchable. With me, I go back to my horses. So like, I'm shoveling horse poo the second I can get back to where I am, you know what I mean? So there's no getting big-headed. I did go wild, I went completely wild, but it wasn't the way a lot of actors do. I was flying around in the nicest airplanes, to the nicest hotels, in the most remote places, just kind of enjoying life.
Yeah.
I just didn't go alcohol wild or any other type of wild, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. And the horse, with all due respect for my French, pardon my French, doesn't give a fuck that you're a famous actor or not. He just wants...
Yeah. And for me, I have such an addictive personality. Whereas I could have gone down so many other roads, but because of the horses, they were my drug of choice. You know what I mean? If I didn't have the horses, I could have been doing anything, and I know that for a fact. So the horses don't care, I didn't care, I was happy, I was in my element.
Stay that way, because I won't name any names, but I've seen people whose moment of fame is behind them, and they have a very hard time living with the fact that they were once more popular than they are now. So if you can put fame aside, I mean, bless you, it's really good. Now, Devon, there's a few people who want to ask questions, so don't be shy, because there's already a few first people. There's 2 microphones, one on the left, one on the right. There's a few ground rules, English only, 1 question per person. Please speak clearly in the microphone. Don't ask for any free hugs or free kisses or autographs or Devon's room number. I'll give it to you. Take it away, person to the left.
What was the most funniest moment of filming Harry Potter?
The most funny? Oh, let me see. So this is really funny. It's funny to kind of look back on now. But on the first movie, it was my 13th, it's like my 12th or my 13th birthday in Professor Flitwick's classroom when I blow up the feather. The very first time I got to blow up that feather was scary. So, how they did that, there's like a big wooden box with like 24 holes, and in every hole they had you probably don't remember this, I don't remember this. It's the old cameras where you would look through here and you'd hold the flash over there. So it's a one flash bulb. So they put 24 of these one flash bulbs into this box. Hook it up to electricity and then press a button. So I'm doing Wingardium Leviosa and they pressed the button, but they never tested it to see how much electricity was going in. There was too much, which we all later found out, because it really, really, really exploded. So there's like, I'm inside a fireball, there's glass flying everywhere, I have glass in my eye, my face is all cut. So yeah, it's kind of funny to look back on now. It was terrifying at the time. There was a very funny moment though with Robbie Coltrane, who plays Hagrid. So we had maybe 3 or 4 months in between the second movie and the third movie, because a lot of us were going to do exams for school. So when we came back for filming, on the very first day, Robbie Coltrane drags me into one of the assistant director changing rooms and puts band-aids or plasters all over my face and kind of like roughs me up a little bit. It sends me into hair and makeup. And when I walk in, everybody's like, oh my God, what's happened? What's happened? And I was like, I fell off a horse. Like, what? You're not supposed to be horse riding. I was like, sorry. So they have the medical department come running down. They call the director, producers, J.K. Rowling, everybody. Robbie Coltrane goes running. He's terrified. He's like, I'm not involved in this now. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've just lost my job. Oh shit, what am I gonna do? So this goes on for like 10 or 15 minutes. Everybody is like surrounding me. Producers are like going crazy. They're calling my mother up to explain herself. And then with that, Robbie Coltrane just comes walking in and he's just like in hysterics laughing. So yeah, that was a funny moment for us back then. I didn't lose my job, which was great.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Person to the right.
It's a bit late, but sincere. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Devon Murray. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither.
Thank you very much.
Person to the left.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello. I had a question for you. Do you have people that scare you with brooms? Because you're like the actor that always does broom. Do people just come up to you from the front or the back and say, boo?
No.
Something like that.
No, they actually don't. I kind of want somebody to do that now. I don't know how I would react. I've got very quick reflexes, so don't try it. No, nobody's ever done that. Somebody's going to do it now today. I just know it.
Oh,
You've
yes.
put it into people's heads now. Thanks.
You're all invited. Thank you. Person to the right.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
good, thank you. How about you?
I'm very good, thanks.
My question for you is, what's your favorite line from the Harry Potter movies that you said?
That I say, probably the very first line that I say, and it's, I'm half and half. My dad's a muggle, Mam's a witch. Bit of nasty shock for him when he what was it? Bit of a nasty shock for him when he found out.
Yeah, it's my favorite line as well.
But I'm glad I said the same one as you. Yeah, so that was like so hard to do. Well, no, it wasn't. It was very easy, but nobody could understand a word I said. Because I know I still have a strong Irish accent, but when I first started Harry Potter, nobody could understand me. It was like so strong, and I used to speak so fast. So I think we were there for like maybe 10 or 11 days trying to get me to say my line correctly. People weren't very happy, but we got it done in the end. And then once we'd finished filming Harry Potter, we have to do a thing called ADR, which is like the voiceovers. If there's ever any issue, you go back into the studio and you record your lines again. Some people had to do like maybe 1 or 2 lines. I had to do all my lines for every single one of the Harry Potter movies. And it's not because of the English or anybody else. The Americans could never understand a word I said. So, and they still don't.
So could you say that first sentence again, but in full Irish? The first line you said in the movies?
I can't, I couldn't. I don't even know how I said it back then. I'm half and half. My dad's a mug and Mam's a witch. A bit of an ashstock for him when he found out.
Okay, thank God you did the voiceovers because we wouldn't understand any of it.
It would have been something like that, but even stronger. I can't even do my old accent anymore. It's like, ugh.
At least you weren't dubbed over, it was your own voice.
Yeah.
Right, person to the left, go
Thank
ahead.
you very much.
Geez,
Oh jeez, it's me.
I'm very nervous. Were there any rumors going around on sets while filming that turned out to just be made up or actually real? Like rumors or inside jokes?
There was rumors, definitely. You've got to think. We were all 12, 13. Hormones were flying. At one stage, everybody fancied everybody. So yes, there was lots of rumors going around back then. I'm not going to tell you those rumors because I'd get into a lot of trouble.
Come on, we're between friends.
Most of those rumors weren't real rumors, they happened. But everybody knows everything about us. So we have a few little things that we've all made like a pact on to never talk about. So there's some of those. Yeah. Other than that, not really. Sorry. I wish I could tell you, but I can't. Somebody would kill me. Yeah. Thank you.
But there are stories between you lot where like 10 people know, but they've sworn secrecy that...
Oh yeah, so like all of us OG cast. So like from the very first movie, there's a lot of stories that nobody knows. And even when people have released books, they've still never put these certain things in, which is really, really, really cool. I love that.
How drunk do I need to get you to get those stories out of you?
People have tried, trust me. No, they'll go to the grave with me.
You're in Belgium, the strong beer is the...
I'm from Ireland, trust me, I know about
fair
beer.
enough. And you deal with horses, so...
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
You've got to think. I was an 11-year-old child in Harry Potter trying to turn water into alcohol.
True.
We know about booze.
Yes, I can imagine.
I've always kind of found that very funny, actually, that an 11-year-old child was turning water into alcohol. If that was any other, I don't know, if that was anyone else, there would have been an issue about it. When just after the first movie came out, it was in like lots of newspapers and magazines, like the day after the movie came out to the public. They were saying how good Harry Potter was, but why is there an Irish child turning water into alcohol?
Yes.
They thought this was terrible.
Stereotype.
Yeah, complete stereotype. But 2 days after the movie has come out, and the rest of the press haven't been happy because of this Irish child turning water into alcohol, Ireland had the best comeback. We woke up and we saw the front page and like all these magazines and newspapers, and it was just a picture of me, and it said, Ireland's pride. Keep the stereotype, no, what was it? Ireland's pride, keeping the stereotype alive. And I thought, yes.
You know what? I'm not even sure they could remake it in 2024. Probably would be too
not.
sensible nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's just innocent fun in a way. I mean, you weren't harmed, nobody was harmed by it.
Oh no, exactly, and the Irish love it.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
All right, person to the right.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, fine, you?
Well, thanks.
Did you take something from the set?
Is this being recorded?
No.
Or borrowed?
No, so I was actually pretty lucky. Warner Brothers, for some reason, they liked me. And they would give me things. They didn't give many people things, but for some reason, they gave it to me. Probably because like I was cheeky enough to ask for things. So the feather that I blew up in Professor Flitwick's classroom, they gave me that on my birthday. My cat has destroyed it. I have like the owl exams from the 4th movie. I have my rings. I have the Slytherin ring. I have the Slytherin tie pin. I have all the house ties. I have... Oh, my favourite thing. One of my favourite things. So Warner Brothers gave me this. It's the howler from the 2nd movie. You know when Mrs. Weasley sends it to Ron because they were in the flying car. So Warner Brothers gave me that for a charity. So that was fine. I went over to the charity, we put it up for auction. And as I sat there and I saw people bidding on it, I was so used to it being in my house, on my desk. And I thought, I really want this. So I ended up bidding it, and bidding, and bidding, and bidding, and bidding, and I have it. So I have it back where it should be, on my desk. But there's lots of other like random things that I cannot think of off the top of my head. I really wanted my wand, but we had like the wand police, we called it. So as soon as we would finish filming with our wand, they would be over. Even before they said cut, they were in there taking everybody's wands. So yeah, I really wish I had my wand.
Thank you.
No problem. And yes, I have some other things that I rob.
All right, 3 final questions on the left.
Perfect.
Go on, first one.
Hi, so you were all kids back then, a majority of the cast, and I was wondering, did you ever like prank anybody or cause a lot of mischief or cause problems for the adults?
Towards the adults, not really. They were the biggest kids. They were pulling the most pranks. Like Mark Williams, who plays Arthur Weasley, he was terrible. Jason Isaacs, who plays Lucius Malfoy, he was the worst. And then later on, when Ray Fiennes, who plays Voldemort, came on, he was the biggest child above everybody. And it was so weird to see Voldemort walking around the studio looking terrifying and just like slagging everybody and just joking around. But myself, Matthew, who plays Neville Longbottom, and James and Oliver Phelps, who play the Weasley twins, we were the only people that didn't go back to our own house at night. So we all stayed in a hotel together. So as you can imagine, there's 4 guys in a hotel. There was lots of like ordering food at like 4 a.m. in the morning, setting wake-up calls for like 5 a.m., ordering taxis at 3 a.m. to the airport, just like random things like that. Nothing too bad. Again, Robbie Coltrane, when he pranked everybody by putting band-aids on me. Rupert used to do some pranks, but I can't remember them now. It was so long ago. I really wish I had wrote down like so many different things over the years, because every time we meet up with like some of the other guys from Potter, we always kind of exchange stories, and it's always great to like remember some of these things. So next week I get to see like Rupert Grint, and it's always fun to see him. We'll exchange more stories and just laugh and joke and reminisce.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Last but one.
Hey, how are you?
So I'm from the generation that grew up with the Harry Potter books. I'm of the generation that grew up with the books. I wonder if there's any way that you wish your film character would be maybe more closer to the books, or a scene that you would have liked to play, or anything that you would have liked to be different for your character in the movies.
I don't know. I never read the books. I read some of the Harry Potter books, like a little bit here and there, but I've never read like all the Harry Potter books. But one thing that I wish, not to do with my character, but Peeves. So Peeves is my favourite character completely. On the first movie, we actually made it, like we shot the movie with Peeves. But he was too funny. Everybody was always laughing, all the kids, all the crew. Plus he used some very, very, very colourful language. Every second word was a curse word. So yeah, that's the only thing from the books that I wish was in it. I don't really remember very much more. I'm sorry.
I completely understand. Who played him?
Rick Mail.
Oh.
He's a British comedian. He's dead now, God love him. But he was amazing. He was a genius. I always remember, so it was like on the first movie, he was only filming for like 2-3 weeks. And I think it was his very last day, I decided I would get like my book signed by him. So, but I didn't realize, like I'd wrapped, and then he'd gone into his changing room, but I didn't know that people were told to not disturb him, because he had a late shoot as well, so he'd gone in to go for a little sleep. I didn't know this. So 7 o'clock in the evening, I went over, knocked on his door, he comes out, possibly drunk, and I'm like, sorry, would you mind signing this? So I was like, sure, come on in. So I went to his changing room, he does me this autograph, and bids me farewell. So I get into my car, so there's myself and Matthew Lewis, who plays Neville, in the car, because we're in the same hotel. So we're trying to read it without turning on the light, because obviously you don't want to turn the light on when somebody's driving you. So we're kind of reading it with the street lights, and it says, "To Devon, you are a complete dick. Hugs and kisses and kicks in your box. Rick Mail." So I'm reading this out loud, and my mum and Matthew's mum are like, "It does not say that." And I'm like, "No, it does." So my mum just rips the book off and it does say that, it does say it.
Typical Rick Mail.
Typical Rick Mail. I love him. He was probably the only actor, adult actor, that I really knew on the first movie. From Bottom and things like that.
Bottom, amazing series.
Fantastic. So he was the only person I think I've ever been starstruck on Harry Potter. Everybody else, I wasn't, because I was too young. I didn't really know who they were, how good of actors they were, which in hindsight is fantastic. It was great because we weren't intimidated by them. But yeah, I'm sorry about your question. I haven't read the books.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
One final question.
What's your favorite character but not yourself?
My favourite character is Voldemort. He's the best. He's my favourite. Either Voldemort or Luna Lovegood, which I always find very strange, because I like the worst, meanest person in Harry Potter and the nicest, craziest, wonderful person in Harry Potter too. But obviously, if Peeves was in the first movie, he would be my favourite. Who is your favourite character?
Luna Lovegood.
Good answer. I like that.
All right, thank you so much. That's all we have time for. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Devon!
Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.